There's a version of you out there, richer, stronger, sharper, unstoppable, and every second you waste, he gets further away. You don't need motivation, you need a funeral. Bury the weak you, or die never meeting the man you were meant to become. Every morning you wake up and lie to yourself. You roll over, check your phone, flood your brain with distraction before you even stood up. And then you wonder why you're stuck. You wonder why you're broke, why you're weak, why nothing seems to change. It's because your mindset is poisoned. You've been tricked into believing that you're supposed to feel ready before you act. That's not how winners operate. Winners act regardless of how they feel. The man who waits for motivation will always lose to the man who moves with purpose. The truth is simple. You're not tired, you're uninspired. You're not overwhelmed, you're under-disciplined. And it's not the world holding you back, it's the weakness in your own mind. The voice that tells you to take a break, to skip today, to start next week, that voice is your enemy, and until you learn to kill it, you will always be a prisoner. People love to say, it's too hard. Like the struggle is some unfair punishment, but the pain is the price. You cannot evolve without pressure. You do not grow without resistance. Diamonds are born in fire, not comfort. You know, what you call pressure, I call the proving ground. You think you're being tested? You are. Every single day, life is asking you one question: are you worthy? And every day you answer, not with your words, but with your actions. You either prove yourself or you don't. There's no third option. And if you keep failing the test, don't cry about the results. Don't whine about why you're not living the life you want. You're not unlucky, you're undisciplined. You're not cursed, you're uncommitted. Your results are screaming the truth you're too scared to admit. People look for secrets, shortcuts, magic hacks, as if greatness is hiding behind a YouTube ad. It's not. There is no secret. The formula is as old as time. Wake up early, train hard, work harder, sacrifice comfort, eliminate weakness, repeat forever. That's the recipe. That's the path. And no, it's not sexy, it's not easy, it's not fun, but it's what works. It's what builds monsters. And if you want to be one of the elite, if you want to command respect, build power, and live free, then you better learn to love the grind. The average man fears discomfort. He hides from it. But the man of power, he chases it. He wants the pressure. He wants the pain because he knows that's where his edge is sharpened. Comfort is the enemy. It whispers lies to the mind. It kills ambition in silence. Every soft bed, every skipped workout, every snoozed alarm, it's death by 1,000 tiny cuts. And by the time you realize what you've lost, it's too late. The world doesn't wait for the lazy to catch up. It rewards the obsessed, the relentless, the men who rise before the sun and grind while others dream. But here's what they never tell you. You're not stuck, you're not broken, you're not doomed to stay average, you just haven't committed yet, you haven't made the choice. Because once you decide, truly decide, everything changes. That fire you feel in your chest, that restlessness, that deep gnawing hunger for more, that's not a curse. That's the call. That's the primal voice inside every man who was born to lead, born to conquer, born to lead a legacy. And the moment you stop silencing it with junk food, porn, cheap dopamine, and lazy friends, the moment you start feeding it discipline, focus, and action, you will become dangerous. And that's the goal, to become dangerous. Not in violence, but in presence, in purpose, in the energy you bring when you walk into a room. The man who's truly disciplined doesn't need to raise his voice. People feel his power before he speaks. That's what mindset builds. That's what discipline creates. And it all starts with one moment when you look in the mirror and say, enough. I refuse to live like this another day. Because deep down, you know you were meant for more. You know you weren't born to be average. You weren't built to be weak, broke, and forgotten. You were born to dominate. You were born to rise. You were born to be remembered. But none of that happens unless you're willing to kill the version of yourself that's holding you back. The lazy you, the scared you, the one who lives for comfort. That version of you, let him die, and in his place, build a man who cannot be broken. You don't need permission to change. You don't need luck or signs or perfect timing. You need one thing: ruthlessness with yourself. Ruthless discipline, ruthless honesty, ruthless execution. Because motivation is not a mood, it's a mindset. It's not some momentary spark. It's a decision you make every damn day. And when you lock in, when you truly commit, when you say, I will win or I will die trying, that's when the world starts moving out of your way. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Stop reading and start acting. Because there's no cavalry coming. There's no easy way out. There's only you, your will, and the life you're building, one decision at a time. And if you don't take control now, someone else will, and you'll be forced to watch them live the life you were too scared to fight for. I remember sitting alone in a tiny, cold apartment, no heating, no food in the fridge, no money in the account, just silence. Heavy, unforgiving silence. You don't know how loud your thoughts are until the world around you is dead quiet. I had nothing. No safety net, no one checking in, no applause, no backup plan. It was me versus reality, and reality didn't care if I broke. That's the first real lesson. No one's coming to save you. The world owes you nothing, and it will test you without mercy until you decide you're either going to fold like everyone else or fight until you carve your name into history. That period of my life wasn't a phase, it was a crucifixion. Every day felt like drowning with my eyes open, but I didn't run, I didn't escape into a bottle or blame the system or cry about how life wasn't fair. I made a vow, this pain will either bury me or build me. And I chose the second one, not because it was easier, but because pain, when embraced, becomes power. You only grow when you're stretched, broken, stripped of comfort, and forced to reconstruct yourself from the ash. And once you do, you become someone who cannot be moved by life's storms because you've already walked through fire and smiled. No one sees the years where you're grinding with no results, the nights where you stare at the ceiling wondering if it's all a waste. But that's where champions are built, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, when no one's watching, when no one believes in you, when even you start to doubt yourself, but you still move forward, because deep inside, there's something louder than fear. Hunger. Hunger to become the man you were meant to be. If the dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. And if it doesn't hurt, you're not working hard enough. That mindset, that standard became my foundation. I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't the smartest. I wasn't born with privilege or connections. What I had was focus, grit, and a refusal to quit. Every time life knocked me down, I got back up more dangerous than before, because each hit taught me something. Each failure sharpened my instincts. Each loss humbled me into evolving. And that's the beauty most men miss. The setback isn't your enemy. It's your invitation to grow. Weak men stay down. Strong men use the fall as leverage to launch even higher. And soon, what used to break you becomes your warm-up. What used to scare you becomes your fuel. People think confidence is some gift you're born with. It's not. It's built. Layer by layer, rep by rep. It's built in the gym when your body says stop and you go one more. It's built in business when the deal falls through and you still make calls. It's built in isolation when no one claps for you, but you clap for yourself and keep building anyway. That's real confidence. It's earned in war, not handed out in peace. And when you've earned it, no one can take it from you because it's not based on approval. It's rooted in your history of doing hard things when it mattered most. There were days I wanted to quit. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. Days where it all felt pointless, where the dream felt miles away. But every time I got to that edge, that breaking point, I'd hear this voice in my head, clear and sharp. Is this how your story ends? And just like that, I'd stand back up. Because even if the world gave me nothing, I still had a choice. And I chose movement. I chose effort. I chose to outwork every excuse. And brick by brick, I built an unshakable life. Not perfect, but powerful. Not easy, but earned. You see, mindset isn't something you switch on for motivation and switch off for comfort. It's a full-time lifestyle. It's a declaration of the universe. No matter what you throw at me, I will not fold. I will adapt, I will grow, and I will win. And when you live that truth daily, not occasionally, your entire energy shifts. People feel it. Doors open, opportunities appear. Because the world moves for men who refuse to be victims of their circumstance. If you're struggling right now, good. Let that pain shape you. Let it become the fuel that turns your name into a legacy. Because the world remembers the men who built empires from nothing. The ones who refused to die quietly. The ones who turned rejection into redirection and scars into strength. You can be that man if you want it bad enough. If you're willing to go through the fire and come out forged. And if no one has told you this today, I will. You are not finished. You are just beginning. Everything you've been through was preparation. All the betrayal, all the failure, all the silence It wasn't punishment. It was training to carry a bigger destiny. And now it's time to cash in. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. The man who waits will always serve the man who acts. So act, move, build, win. Because you're not a victim, you're a weapon. And it's time to be sharpened. You don't realize how little time you have until it's too late. That's the biggest scam life pulls on men. It convinces you that tomorrow is guaranteed, that you've got time to waste, distractions to chase, dopamine to drown in. But one day you wake up and you're 35, broke, weak, addicted to comfort, and nobody respects you, not even yourself. And by then, it's not a nightmare, it's your reality. The clock doesn't care how tired you are. It moves forward whether you move with it or not. Every second you spend doing nothing is a second closer to being forgotten. That should terrify you. Fear isn't your enemy, it's your compass. If something scares you, that's the direction you should run towards, not away from. The gym should scare you. Discipline should intimidate you. Building a business, facing rejection, sacrificing comfort, it should all shake your bones. But here's the truth. Fear is the gatekeeper to greatness. Every man you admire had to walk through fear to earn that admiration. There's no shortcut, no safety net, no hack. Either you confront what paralyzes you or you let it own you forever. Most men choose safety, but safety is slow death, a coffin with the illusion of comfort. The idea that you'll start next week or when you're ready is the biggest lie you've ever told yourself, because readiness doesn't exist. If you wait for perfect timing, you'll wait forever. Winners don't need the stars to align. They pull the stars into place with blood and obsession. If you're not moving now, you never will. Waiting is a symptom of weakness. That internal voice telling you to pause is fear disguised as logic. Crush it. Move anyway, because the world doesn't slow down while you sit still, and opportunities don't knock twice. They vanish the second you hesitate. You ever feel that panic, that ache in your chest when you think about how fast life is slipping? That's not anxiety. That's your soul begging you to wake up. It knows you're meant for more, but you're sedated by screens, poisoned by comfort, buried in distractions. You chase dopamine while your destiny rots in the dark. And years from now, you'll scream inside when you realize what you could have been. Hell isn't fire. It's meeting the man you could have become and realizing you're nothing like him. Let that vision haunt you. Let it torture you into action. There's a man out there right now waking up at 5 a.m., training like a savage, studying like a machine, building wealth, mastering discipline. And every day you sleep in, every time you skip the gym, every time you scroll instead of build, he widens the gap. And one day he'll dominate the position you could have had. You'll see him win. You'll see him respected. And deep down, you'll know it should have been you. You chose comfort. You chose softness. The future belongs to the obsessed, not the entertained. And obsession has a cost, sacrifice. You're not paying that cost, you're not in the game. You think it's cool to take it slow? You think you've got time to waste your 20s partying, skipping workouts, ignoring your potential? Fine. But understand this, life is a ruthless accountant. It always collects the debt. One way or another, you will pay for your laziness. If not now, then later. In regret, in missed chances, in a weaker body, a foggy mind, a bank account full of zeros, and a life full of what-ifs. It will sting more than knowing it was your own choices that did this. Discipline is pain now, or regret forever. Choose. Look around. Most men are already lost, walking ghosts, no fire in their eyes, no hunger, just scrolling, coping, settling. They're not living. They're existing, and the system loves that. Weak men are easy to control, easy to tax, to drug, to silence. That's why your rebellion starts with self-mastery. You want to escape the matrix, start by becoming a weapon. Physically, mentally, financially, every time you choose pain over pleasure, discomfort over distraction, you break another link in the chain. Freedom is earned through suffering. Slavery is chosen through comfort. Pick your side. And if you're thinking, but I've already wasted years, good. Use that as fuel. Let the guilt, the shame, the regret become your ignition. That's the edge you need. Because when you truly get sick of your own excuses, when you look in the mirror and hate what you see, that's the moment you flip the switch. And when the switch is flipped, no one can stop you. Not genetics, not your past, not your environment. The man who becomes obsessed with transformation is unstoppable. You can become him if you're ready to die to your old self and be reborn through fire. But the urgency is real. Time is burning. And you are not entitled to another year, another month, not even another day. You either act now or you surrender your entire future to chance. But you weren't built for chance. You were built to conquer, to lead, to win. So stop playing small. Stop thinking survival. Start thinking domination. Comfort will cost you your kingdom. Move now or never. The difference between the men who make history and the men who are forgotten isn't talent, it's obsession. The men who win are the ones who decide they will not live a normal life. They burn the bridges, they delete plan B, they embrace the pain. You think greatness happens by accident? You think men become legends by convenience? No. They suffer for it, they bleed for it, and they smile through the torment because they know what's waiting on the other side. Success doesn't come to those who want it. It comes to those who are willing to suffer for it longer than everyone else. That's the truth most can't handle. You've been lied to. They told you self-love means taking breaks, being kind to yourself, being patient. No. Real self-love is discipline. It's dragging yourself out of bed when your body screams to stay down. It's rejecting the party, the drinks, the girls, not because you're weak, but because you're building a future that demands everything from you. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. When you live like a savage, when your routine is sharper than your excuses, when your standards are non-negotiable, you start to love the man in the mirror, not because you were told to, but because you've earned it. You cannot be a king if you live like a peasant. You cannot expect loyalty, respect, admiration if you haven't built yourself into someone worthy of it. You want people to follow you? Lead yourself first. Control your urges, master your time, harden your body, sharpen your mind. Every rep, every early morning, every dollar saved, every book studied, they're bricks in the fortress you're building. A man who conquers himself becomes ungovernable. And when you reach that level, no opinion shakes you, no setback breaks you, no rejection defines you. You become dangerous, and the world respects danger. You think the pain of training, of working late, of missing out is unbearable. Wait until you feel the pain of being average. Wait until you taste the regret of wasted years. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of mediocrity is forever. And most men will carry that weight to their grave. You will suffer either way. Choose the suffering that makes you stronger. You have to stop looking for the easy route. The easy path leads to soft bodies, soft minds, and soft lives. The hard path builds steel, and steel men are the only ones who carve their names into this world. Every day you wake up is a war against weakness, against doubt, against comfort. But you don't retreat, you don't hide, you advance, you walk into the storm, because you know that everything you want, power, success, respect, lives inside that pain, and most will never find it because they're too scared to look. But you're different. You don't fear the fire, you become it. The storm doesn't destroy you, it reveals who you really are. And every time you survive it, you emerge harder, sharper, more relentless than ever. Stop looking for motivation in other people. You are the source, you are the engine, you are the one who chooses whether to become a beast or remain a boy. The world owes you nothing. You don't get rewarded for potential, you get rewarded for execution, for sacrifice, for proving every single day that you're not like the rest. Consistency isn't sexy, but it's undefeated. The man who shows up even when he doesn't want to, even when nobody sees him, even when nothing is going right, that man becomes invincible. Because his power isn't borrowed, it's built. If you could see the life waiting for you, the body, the money, the freedom, the respect, you'd destroy every excuse you've ever made. You'd laugh at your doubts. You'd be disgusted by your own procrastination. But you can't see it yet because you haven't suffered enough. That's the brutal truth. Pain is the price of clarity. Only when you're sick of your own mediocrity does your transformation begin. Till then, you'll play small, you'll seek comfort, you'll pretend you're working, while deep down you know you're hiding. But once you flip the switch, once you say, I refuse to live like this anymore, everything changes. Your energy shifts, your presence becomes different. You walk into rooms and people feel it. Not because you're loud, not because you're arrogant, but because you become rare. A man of discipline, a man of vision, a man who doesn't flinch. And in a world of weak men, that makes you a god. You've got one shot at this, one life, one body, one mind, and you're wasting it, chasing approval, chasing pleasure, chasing ease. Let them laugh now. Let them doubt you. Let them mock your grind, because one day they'll watch you rise. They'll watch you dominate. They'll remember every second they doubted you. And you won't even look back. They'll say you changed. No, you became who you were meant to be. This is it. This is the line. You either cross it and become a weapon, or you turn around and die a slave to your comfort. Right now, in this moment, you are at war with yourself. And the truth is brutal. No one's coming to save you. Not your family, not your friends, not some motivational video, not your future self. It's you, only you. And until you understand that, you will keep circling the drain of mediocrity, hoping life changes while refusing to change yourself. Nothing around you changes until something within you snaps. That snap, that's the moment you say, I'm done living like this. You keep waiting for the perfect day, the right opportunity, the sudden surge of energy, but they never come. That's the trap. You think success is built in moments of hype, but it's forged in silence, in repetition, in blood and sweat when no one's watching. Every second you hesitate, you're digging your grave. Every excuse you give is another brick in your coffin. If you died tomorrow, would you be proud of the man you were today? Think about that. Would you die fulfilled or full of regret? Because that answer, that gut-wrenching truth, is the compass. The man who fears regret more than failure becomes unstoppable. You want to be respected? Earn it. You want to be rich? Bleed for it. You want freedom? Sacrifice for it. There's no magic, no shortcut, no handout that's going to do the work for you. And deep down, you already know that. You're not lazy. You're undisciplined. You're not broken. You're unfocused. You don't lack time. You lack purpose. And until you face that, until you take that version of you that's soft, tired, weak, addicted, distracted, and bury him, you'll never meet the man you were born to be. Transformation isn't becoming someone else. It's killing the version of you that was never enough. There are men out there right now grinding harder than you, training while you scroll, building while you complain, dominating while you procrastinate. You think life is fair? Life doesn't care. It rewards effort. It bows to hunger. It bends for the obsessed. You want to win? Then become a man worthy of victory. You want to lead? Then build yourself into someone who cannot be ignored. If your presence doesn't demand respect, your absence won't be noticed. Respect isn't given. It's seized through action so undeniable that silence becomes impossible. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not after the holidays, now. You either rise or you rot. You either suffer for your future or you suffer from your past. You either build a life that forces people to ask, how did he do it? Or you blend into the background as another man who talked big but never moved. The difference between winners and losers is simple. One acts, the other waits. You've waited long enough, you've doubted long enough, you've settled long enough, that weak voice in your head telling you to rest, to take it easy, to be realistic. That voice is the enemy. Kill it. You don't need more motivation. You need a standard. You need a code you refuse to violate no matter how you feel. You need a fire inside you that burns hotter than your excuses, because once you decide that your life is non-negotiable, nothing can stop you. You'll train when you're tired. You'll work when it hurts. You'll push when it's easier to quit. And that's when everything changes. Not because the world gets easier, but because you get strong. Your life bends to the level of pain you're willing to endure without folding. So take the pain, embrace it, grow through it. This isn't about money. It's not even about success. It's about becoming a man of worth, a man of power, a man who commands his life. The body's just a reflection. The wealth is just a byproduct. The cars, the clothes, the lifestyle, they're side effects. The real goal is to become someone who walks into any room and everyone feels it. Not because you said a word, but because your energy is forged from suffering and self-respect. When you build yourself in silence, the world will echo your name. That's the life you're capable of, but only if you fight for it. So here's the truth. No more second chances, no more pity parties, no more blaming the world, your past, your parents, your pain. Use it, fuel it. Let the betrayal, the heartbreak, the failure sharpen your edge. This is your rebirth. From this point forward, your words mean nothing. Your actions are everything. Wake up with rage in your blood. Train like the man you admire. Work like you're already behind. Move like time is hunting you down. Because it is. Every day you waste is another day you could have been better, richer, stronger, wiser. So why are you still waiting? You're not the victim, you're the weapon. but only if you choose to be. Stand up, breathe deep, lock in, and go. The old version of you is dead. Bury him with silence. Burn the excuses, break the chains, and become the man the world never saw coming. You were not born to blend in. You were born to bend the world to your will.